right, astrology friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you some honest astrology, a little update of what's going on upstairs in the big astro calendar. Hopefully you've had a wonderful weekend and you've been enjoying this eclipse energy from when we've had that about 2 weeks ago. And we've had a really big conjunction happening over the weekend here on Saturday evening at around 7:20 at night. We had Jupiter and Uranus conjunct in the sign of Taurus. Now it takes 12 years for Jupiter to go around the zodiac. It spends about 1 year in each of the signs. So Uranus takes about 16 so years to move through each sign, and this conjunction happens once every 14 years approximately. So we're able to see, let me show you the chart here, we're able to see Jupiter and Uranus still conjunct in the same space as we're getting ready for this sun here in Taurus, moon in Scorpio, full moon happening on Tuesday evening at 7:47 p.m. So we're going to talk a little bit about this conjunction and then about this opposition here. All these characters are still in the same place from the eclipse. Hopefully that energy's been going well for you. You know, again, everything from this eclipse has been about you. It's been about you. This is your relationship, your mental relationship with yourself. This is your relationship with yourself. This is what you're doing for goods, services. How do you make money? How do you offer services to the outside world? How are you communicating with everybody else and understanding that our minds, our individual perception, this is extremely important here. Our minds are our individual perception, meaning I will always see the world through the eye of a white heterosexual male, okay? Born in Metro Detroit. Like, I don't know what it would be like to be born in India. I don't know what it would be like to be born in another state. I don't know what it would be like to be born in another country or to be speaking a different dialogue, right? Like, I am the center of my universe. I am the sun. You are the sun. You are the center of your universe. And there's no reality without mind entering into it first. Therefore, our perception of reality is always going to have the filter, that cognitive bias, the reticular activation system, that filter before we perceive the world. Okay, so I perceived the world growing up as a young man, now an adult, and my life experiences shape my reality. Okay, this is extremely important as we look into this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, because when we look at information and communication and how our mind works, this is the third house in Gemini information, okay? Now, Jupiter is the ruler of the ninth house, which is Sagittarius energy. This is not just about what's my information. This is about collective information, right? So this is like here I am, this, white dude from Detroit, and I can travel the world and then go meet somebody from India or somebody from another country, another race, another, a female, male, whatever it may be, and learn about their perspective of life. So where my perspective is limited to my personal beliefs, we're able to communicate and expand and explore what other people are offering, what other people's perceptions are. So this is extremely important as Uranus is conjunct Jupiter, because Jupiter is about expansion. Jupiter is about the philosophy. So this is, again, a well-traveled individual, and a well-traveled individual are going to have really great conversations. A well-traveled individual and a non-traveled individual might not have as vast of conversations, because the non-traveled individual might be a little bit more limited in their perception of reality. So Jupiter wants us to expand beyond our limited perception of reality. And Uranus is the aha, the breakthrough, the lightning striking, the crater falling apart and creating an avalanche, the snow going down, creating an avalanche. This is the big aha, the orgasm, if you will, the coming into an awareness. Okay? So our perception of reality is up to change. And this is probably the most important thing that we can take away from this past weekend and from this eclipse 2 weeks ago, is it's like, okay, this is our reality. You are, again, the center of the universe in this heliocentric world where we revolve around the sun. However, our perception as human beings is geocentric, and it appears that the sun revolves around the earth, right? So it takes that understanding, it takes that philosophical dive into the unknown to say, oh, wow, the sun isn't really moving around me. And I have to look outside myself to be able to view these things. So there's a great reward for us when we choose to look outside of our limited belief system. We can open up to a lot, and we can learn a lot, not only about ourselves, but we can really free ourselves. We can free our hearts. We can free our minds. Again, where we might think injustices are done to us, or this thing is only done to me and poor me, this like kind of victimization, that this eclipse that we had 2 weeks ago is really trying to get us out of this victim mentality and say, you are the center of your universe. And it does not matter what has happened to you in the past. It doesn't matter where your family came from, how many crayons you had to work with, how many colors you had to be able to paint the picture. This is what you have now. And what are you going to do with it, right? Nothing else of our past matters. And so now it's like, here we are, let's move forward. So this conjunction happened over this weekend is just like, this is kind of to blow our minds. And in a sense, to blow your own mind, like, give yourself permission to blow your own mind. Give yourself permission to have your boundaries or your reality or the concept of where your limit is to be blown away. Now, the interesting thing about Jupiter and Uranus here is Jupiter is about expand, expand, expand. Uranus is the breakthrough, okay? But there's a very important player that's in the middle. Jupiter can only expand until Saturn. Saturn is the laws of our physical reality, and we can only expand until there's the maximum capacity within that space. Whatever that space is, it's a room, it's a car, it's a balloon, it's an office building, it's data on a card for memory in your camera, right? So you can only expand so much until the laws of physical reality take shape and hold down the fort. Then the energy of Uranus, Uranian energy, explodes and breaks through, right? This can no longer contain. We're feeding too much information in, and it can no longer contain, so it has to break. Uranian energy is the break, Jupiter's the expansion. So where's the limit? The limit right now is Saturn. Saturn is right here with Mars and Neptune in Pisces. The beautiful thing about this conjunction, which again only happens once every 14 years, this player in the middle of the two is in a place of imagination, in a place of belief. And this is not in a place of, right, if it was in Aries or Aquarius or even Capricorn, is very, very different energy. These are very real, physical, tangible things. In Pisces here, this is not necessarily about the real or the physical. This is about the non-physical. This is about the emotional. This is about the imagination, our creativity, our boundless creativity. Okay, so we can push the ideas, push the envelope. As well, this deals with religion. Okay, and we can say that religion has really helped humanity in a lot of ways. We can say that religion has really held us back in a lot of ways in these past few years. Friends, we are in the age of Aquarius, where all of this stuff changes. And as we have this eclipse just this past 2 weeks, okay, putting everything us in the center is important that we do our own research to define and figure out what is true and what is not true. And if something is not truthful, that's been a tradition that's been passed down to us, and this is the way the world works, child, this is how it is. This is our opportunity to break tradition. Like, thank you, parents, for installing this information. Thank you, parents and grandparents, for giving us your insight, for sharing these stories that were told to you down to us. But maybe these stories no longer serve this day and age. Maybe those stories don't serve this generation anymore. Maybe those stories don't serve the age of Aquarius, because those stories were for the age of Pisces and for the age of Aries, right? With Abba Ram, Father Ram, and Jesus. It's like those stories, those archetypes, they don't carry into this new age. So we have this opportunity to break free from old religious patterns, old religious beliefs, Saturn up there in belief in spiritual Pisces. We have the opportunity to break from traditions, to break from norms. Maybe there's a way that we used to think of how relationships were. Maybe we're going to enter this new way of that we can enter relationships, relationship with ourselves first, right? I'm going to work on me to be the best version of myself, for me, for you, as we want you to work on the best version of yourself, for you, for us. Which brings us now to this full moon. Let's check it out. So Taurus energy is cool, okay? This is the carpenter, this is the builder, all right? Aries energy, like, it's springtime. Spring is here. But now the sun is really back in the northern hemisphere, and it's showing its evidence of budding flowers and ripe nature, okay? So basically, we're getting ready to build. We have this opportunity from here into here, these 6 months, to harvest, to create, to harvest before winter again. Okay? So this is like, what do you do? How do you create? One, what is Taurus and Venus energy? Taurus rules Venus, so what is this Venetian energy? Is money, material possessions, and goods. And of course, this is like grain, similar to like Virgo energy, earth energy. We're talking about harvest, we're talking about grains, we're talking about planting seeds so that our crops can grow, and then we can create a fruitful, it's like if we work hard for us, if we work really hard for us, many, many people will benefit. If we work really hard at our garden, we can feed the community. And that's what this energy is all about in a simplistic form. So this is about what we're creating. What are we creating individually? And all of this energy over here, again, it's just like, it's up to you. What you want to create in this life, it doesn't matter what anybody else told you your limitations were. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. This is, what do you want to do with life? And what do you want to create with life? And you will naturally find the other people, that's what this relationship is here, that are going to want to propel you forward. But it's like, what can we create here? And how can we give back? And if I work really hard at my garden, I can share that fruit with other people. I can share those tomatoes, that corn, that whatever else. Okay, so that's what's mine, what's ours. And if we work hard here, then we celebrate here. And this is for everybody, right? Because this is like, we have a bigger feast. The more that I work on mine here and that I can bring forward, maybe nobody else did the work. Maybe I'm the only Capricorn, earth sign that's trying to really like pull this stuff together. Maybe everybody's being lazy. So then that's all right. Then I bring my forward, and then we have a lot to eat. But if I worked really hard and you worked really hard and Sam and Jerry and Tom and Sally and Betty worked really hard as well, and we all come together, then at the end of this autumn in 6 months, we're going to have a feast, and we're going to be able to survive a very plush and full year. So this is like it's simply getting us excited, passionate, eradicating these concepts of the past, to break through new concepts of how to make money in this current time and age. Again, we have this technology. Pluto is now in Aquarius, so we have breakthroughs, transformational technology and information, and ways to connect with other people that we've never had in the past. So we have an opportunity to reach far more people. In a yoga class, Saturn says I can fit 30 bodies. I can fit 30 bodies is the maximum capacity I can fit in this yoga class. Well, we have this breakthrough of technology, this breakthrough, and on the internet, we can record this yoga class and we can broadcast it live, and we can reach hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people. Where our space was once limited, we're breaking through and breaking beyond that limited space, breaking beyond the tradition, and stepping into new territory, into the unknown with technology, with knowledge and information and all this beautiful stuff that we can share with one another. Just like this, because I studied astrology, I get to share it with you guys. And if you like astrology, then you get to do the same thing with your friends, right? So this is a beautiful relationship that we all get to do and embark upon. So my friends, have a wonderful, happy full mooning to you. And I hope you're enjoying all of this lovely energy that we've been gifted. It's a very special time to be alive. I love you. I wish you enough, and we'll see you next time.